He was one of the most famous faces on earth. A Hollywood superstar with charm, talent, and a touch of mystery. But behind the characters, behind the costumes, there was a man fighting battles no one could see. He made the world laugh. He made cry. And then, one day, he disappeared from it. Tabloids tore him apart. Studios turned their backs. Internet chose sides. But Johnny Depp didn't vanish. He stood up, fought back, and reminded the world who he really was. This isn't just a story of fame. It's a story of pain, of strength, and of a man who refused to be broken. This is Rise, the Fall, and the Comeback of Johnny Depp, a true Hollywood legend. Before the red carpets. Before the blockbuster roles. Johnny Depp was just a kid from Owensboro, Kentucky, born on June 9, 1963, in a working-class family. His early life was far from glamorous. His father was a civil engineer. His mother, a waitress. Money was tight. Emotions ran high. By the time Johnny was 15, his family had moved over 20 times. Called it a gypsy childhood, always packing, never settling. Home wasn't always a safe place either. He spoke openly, later in life, about the chaos inside those four walls, the fights, the instability. It all left scars, some that would never fully heal, but through it all, there was one escape, music. At 12, he got his first guitar. He taught himself to play, locking himself in his room for hours, letting sound drown out the noise of the world. He dreamed of being a rock star, not an actor. Acting wasn't even on the radar yet, but life, as it often does, had other plans. Johnny didn't chase Hollywood. It found him by accident. In his early 20s, he moved to Los Angeles with nothing but a guitar and a dream of making it in a band. He played gigs, took odd jobs, and barely scraped by. Then one day, a friend actor Nicolas Cage told him he had a look for movies. He didn't take it seriously, but he went to an audition anyway. That audition landed him a role in Nightmare on Elm Street, his first film. He wasn't a trained actor, but something about him stood out. Soon after, he was cast in 21 Jump Street, a TV show about undercover cops in high school. The show was a hit, and Johnny Depp became a teen idol almost overnight, but he hated it. Felt trapped, reduced to a pretty face on magazine covers. It wasn't the kind of work he believed in. He didn't want fame. He wanted freedom. While the world saw a rising star, Johnny saw a prison. And so, just as quickly as he rose, he began looking for a way out. Johnny Depp could have stayed safe. He could have ridden the wave of mainstream success, but that's not who he was. After 21 Jump Street, he walked away from TV and turned down roles that could have made him even bigger. Instead, he chose the strange, the broken, the misunderstood. In 1990, he starred in Edward Scissorhands, a quiet, gentle creature with Blade's 4 fingers. It was risky, unusual, but it was the first time Johnny truly felt like he was playing someone real, even if that someone wasn't human. This film began a powerful partnership with director Tim Burton. Together, they built worlds that didn't look or feel like anything else in Hollywood. Ed Wood, Sleepy Hollow, Charlie, and the Chocolate Factory, each role more eccentric than the last. He didn't play heroes, he played outsiders. People on the edges. People who didn't fit, and maybe that's because Johnny never felt like he fit either. He once said, "I think everybody's weird. We should all celebrate our individuality." His choices confused the industry. But to fans, he wasn't just an actor, he was an artist, a rebel with no interest in playing by the rules. In 2003, everything changed. Johnny Depp took on a role that no one believed in at first, a quirky, drunk, gold-toothed pirate named Jack Sparrow. Disney executives were nervous, didn't understand his performance. They asked if he was drunk, or maybe even playing it too weird. But Johnny didn't back down. He had a vision. He built the character from rock stars, old legends, and a little bit of chaos. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl became a massive hit. Jack Sparrow wasn't just a character, he was a phenomenon. Kids dressed like him, adults quoted him, critics praised him. He was nominated for an Oscar for playing a pirate. A Disney movie, the success turned Johnny into a global icon. He went from cult favorite to box office king. More Pirates movies followed, and with each one, the legend grew. He became one of the highest paid actors in the world, but with the spotlight shining brighter than ever, the shadows behind it began to grow too. While the world cheered for Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp was fighting battles no one could see. Fame brought fortune, but it also brought pressure. The kind that wears you down slowly, quietly. Off screen, things were getting darker. He struggled with addictions, something he never tried to hide. Alcohol became a way to numb the pain, but it only made the pain harder to escape. He lost close friends. His longtime partner, Vanessa Paredes, the mother of his 2 children, drifted away. Separated after 14 years together. There were lawsuits, financial troubles, people he trusted with his money betrayed him. Behind the curtain of success, there was chaos. And through it all, he kept working. Role after role, film after film, but it was clear he was tired. He once said, "You can close your eyes to the things you don't want to see, but you can't close your heart to the things you don't want to feel." For Johnny Depp, the hardest battles weren't on movie sets, they were within himself. Then came the headlines, and everything changed. In 2016, actress Amber Heard, Johnny Depp's ex-wife, accused him of abuse. The story exploded. Tabloids, and with it, social media lit up with outrage. Depp denied the allegations. In the court of public opinion, the verdict came fast. Studios began to distance themselves. He was dropped from Fantastic Beasts. Pirates of the Caribbean quietly moved on without him. Suddenly, one of Hollywood's most recognizable stars was labeled toxic. Over the next few years, the legal battles grew more intense. Depp sued a British newspaper for defamation and lost, but he didn't stop. He filed another case, this time in the United States. This time, televised. The world watched as both Depp and Heard took the stand. It wasn't just a trial, it was a media event. Every detail, every tear, every message, dissected in real time. People took sides. Some saw a broken man fighting for his name, others saw a star hiding behind charm. In the end, the jury sided with Depp. He had proven that the accusations had damaged his career and his life. But even with legal victory, the damage was done. Hollywood had turned its back. The world had already watched him fall. After years of silence, pain, and public judgment, Johnny Depp did something unexpected. He didn't lash out. He didn't rush back into the spotlight. He stayed quiet, and then he returned on his own terms. In 2022, after the trial, support for Depp surged. Millions who had once doubted him now stood behind him. Fans flooded social media with messages of loyalty. Hashtags like #Justice for Johnny Depp went viral, but Depp didn't dive back into blockbusters. Chose something different. In 2023, he walked the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival. No flashy franchise, no Hollywood studio. Instead, he starred in Jean du Barry, a French-language film where he played King Louis XV. It wasn't about box office. It was about art. He also returned to music, touring with guitarist Jeff Beck, his longtime friend. There were no special effects, no costumes, just a man and his guitar, doing what he loved before the fame ever found him. It wasn't the comeback. People expected it was slower, quieter, but maybe that made it even more powerful. He didn't just come back as a movie star, he came back as himself. Johnny Depp's story is more than just a career in movies. It's a story about being different in a world that demands you fit in. He never followed the rules. He didn't chase awards or approval. He chased characters no one else would dare to play. The broken, the bizarre, the beautifully flawed. For over 3 decades, he gave life to unforgettable roles. But more than that, he gave a voice to the misfits. To the artists, to the ones who felt out of place, even at his lowest. Fans never left him. Because for many, Johnny Depp wasn't just an actor, he was a reflection of their own struggles, their own quiet strength. Through music, through film, and through his silence. He reminded the world that it's okay to be different. It's okay to fall, and it's never too late to stand back up. His legacy isn't just about what he did on screen. It's about who he became when no one was watching. In a world that builds its heroes high, only to tear them down. To rise again, but Johnny Depp did. Not with noise, not with vengeance, but with patience, with grace, and with the quiet strength of someone who has nothing left to prove. He lost almost everything: his reputation, his work, his peace. He never lost himself. His journey wasn't perfect. It was messy, it was real, it was human, and maybe that's why it matters. Because in the end, Johnny Depp didn't just survive Hollywood. He survived being misunderstood. He survived being silenced, and somehow he came back not just as a star, but as a symbol of resilience, of individuality, of never giving up. That this was the rise, the fall, and the comeback of Johnny Depp, a true Hollywood legend.